Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Camila and in today's video I'm making 3D flower coasters, but this time I will use alcohol inks. This is my second attempt and I hope they will turn out as beautiful as the ones in last week's video. If you want to check them out, the link to the video will appear in the right hand corner. I have already prepared the silicone molds. The first thing I'm doing is mixing my part A and part B resin together for about 5 minutes, then pouring around 20 grams of clear resin into a smaller cup to add white pigment. Now I open my white epoxy paste and mix it well before I take just a little bit and put it in a smaller cup with the clear resin. And mix it well, then pour it into a plastic cone. I put aside bigger container with clear resin and white pigmented resin and set an alarm for 15 minutes to allow the resin to warm up. This is very important step. The resin needs to increase its temperature to achieve that beautiful blooming flower effect. After 15 minutes, my resin is ready to be poured. I measure the exact amount using a kitchen scale. I pour about 70 grams of resin into each mold. When my molds are covered in clear resin, it's time to remove the air bubbles from the bottom of my molds using this wooden stick. I do this very gently as I don't want to damage the molds. Now I use torch to get rid of the air bubbles and it's time to add the alcohol inks. First I apply the darker color in the middle, which in this case is a beautiful purple color. Now I apply pink color on the outside of the purple. And the third color is also pink, but a bit lighter than the previous one. All the products that I use in this video will be listed in the description. I also recommend using Resin online calculator, to which link can be found also in the description. Now I use the toothpick and combine the colors. I start from the center and direct the toothpick in the circular motion to the edges of the mold. Okay, now it's time to create the flower petals. I cut off the end of the plastic cone. I applied the white pigmented resin in a spiral motion, starting from the center of the mold. here I want to do the same as in the previous tutorial, which is to apply white resin in the shape of the petals of the flower and then reapply white resin in a spiral motion on top, hoping to get irregular petals like last week. In this one, I just dropped a few white dots in the middle to see how it would turn out. So basically, I'm just experimenting. Now I use wooden stick. I drag from the corner of the mold to the center. When I do this, I think of the clock, so I draw 12 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 3 o'clock, and so on. In total, I have drawn 8 lines, and now I go in the opposite direction and drag the stick from the center of the petals to the edge of the mold. And just swirl in the middle. I forgot to record how I did the bottom left one, but I will explain that in a moment. This one I'm going to do in the same way as the first one, which is to draw 8 lines going to the center and then in the opposite direction. And swirl in the middle. And the last one I will do similar to the one below, which I forgot to record. So I will draw 8 lines inwards, and instead of drawing the lines in opposite direction, I will continue drawing them into the center. So I'm splitting my petals into 2. In the one I forgot to record, I did the same thing, plus I split my 16 petals into 36 and swirl in the middle. This is the next day. I'm going to mix some resin as I want to add a glitter background to my coasters. I will use glitter in 4 purple shades. I divide resin evenly into 4 smaller cups and add a teaspoon of glitter to each. Mix it and pour it over. I use a torch to get rid of any air bubbles and cover overnight to let the resin dry. The next day I unmolded my coasters and applied the clear top coat, and this is the final look. This is the one with 36 petals and dots in the middle that look like big white blobs, but I still like it. This one looked beautiful except for that white spot in the middle. I don't know guys what I did wrong this time. They all have white spots. This is the one with the irregular petals, also very beautiful. Last week I added glitter in the middle, so maybe that prevented the white patches in the center. Perhaps when I started applying from the center, I might have just added too much white resin. If you spot what I did wrong, please let me know in the comments. And the last one with 16 petals. I'm going to try again with the alcohol inks because I need to find out why those white spots appeared. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you want to see more tutorial like this, please let me know in the comments, or maybe you want to see something else, just let me know. Thanks again so much for watching and see you next week.